Intermittent fasting, do we recommend it? The answer is yes, we do, but of course there are a few caveats.
In this episode, we'll dive into what intermittent fasting is, why we like certain protocols, how we use them ourselves and for our clients, and most importantly, secret hack to supercharge your results. Hi, I'm James Davis.
And I'm Claire Davis.
We're the Midlife Mentors, here to lift the lid on how to achieve health and happiness.
The balanced, no-nonsense way.
And welcome to another episode of the Midlife Mentors with me, James.
And me, Claire. The sun's just started to stream through the windows here in London. We had 3 days of summer this week.
3 days of summer, it sounds like a film.
Yeah, well, it feels like a film. It was a very grey...
3 days of summer.
Very grey summer
A horror film where there's never any sunshine and everyone's miserable.
Oh, I've got to be very British and talk about the weather, of course. But
what are we talking about today, Claire?
What we are talking about today is intermittent fasting.
IF in shorthand.
Oh dear. So we're really excited to talk to you about this because this is one of the questions that we get asked all the time is, do you agree with intermittent fasting? Do you believe in it? And we actually had someone ask us to do a podcast episode on this. So this is for you.
Yeah, so we are delving into the how, whys, and kind of benefits and some hacks for intermittent fasting. But just before we get to that...
Oh.
If you're watching our feed, we've
got a few things to announce.
Yes, we've been teasing some exciting news. Now,
James is actually being taken the mick out of on social media for being a tease at the moment because he does keep teasing things without me knowing.
It's all I know, Claire.
Oh dear. So why don't you tease them with what you're doing on your own at the moment?
Yeah,
James is going solo.
I am. We've got 2 things coming up. So the first of mine is, obviously we have the Midlife Method, our 8-week transformational program, which is for men and women and gets amazing results physically, mentally, emotionally. But I've spoken with so many midlife men recently, and I know that our challenges are... Well, actually, we all have individual challenges, but there's a lot of uniformity across them. So I've been inspired, and I've actually been secretly working on this for quite a few months now, working on something for midlife men specifically, and over a longer period of time. So I'm going to have a 90-day program for men. And of course, there's going to be the movement in there, the solid nutrition coaching, so those tenets, but really delving into a lot of around the emotional and the mindset and the psychological issues we face at mid-age, the dreaded midlife crisis. So we'll be looking at things like how we can be better partners, how we can show up better in relationships, how we can find our purpose, re-engage with it, retake control of our lives. So there's going to be a lot of psychological tools in there, and we'll be underpinning it by work with the subconscious as well, with guided visualizations and things like that. So it's going to be awesome, but we're kicking it all off because I want to trial it. This will be a soft launch coming end of the month, I think, but we're on the September the 21st, so ahead of that, I'll put the link in the show notes. I'm doing a free 4-day challenge where we'll be delving into some of the tools we're going to use, and this stuff is all going to be actionable. You'll be able to start using this straight away and start making a difference to your life. So you want to get on that. It's called the Rise Up Challenge, starting September 21st, and just want to get as many midlife men on board because I'm really passionate about kind of giving you the tools to change where you're at. Because a lot of us aren't really happy with where we are at the moment, but we just don't know any different. But I'm there to tell you there is a different way. There is a way to embrace change and step forward into the new powerful you, and that's what I want to show you how to do.
I'm really, really proud of James doing this. Really proud because we there are some alarming statistics kind of coming out from men not feeling like they're being seen or heard, and they don't necessarily. Us women, we do tend to have a few more outlets. We're just generally able to or just reach out and connect with each other a lot more. And the statistics tell us how, and we know that actually men find it a lot harder to necessarily reach out for help and communicate, and so sit in silence and struggle. So that is why, I think this is so important. James is doing such a lot of work to create something incredibly special and incredibly unique for midlife men, and so we can help them, basically. And so James can share what he's learnt with working with midlife men and being a midlifer himself in body, mind and soul, to live a healthy, happy existence, because we all deserve that. So excited to see how that rolls out. So men, if you're listening, get on board. I'll put the link in the show notes, but also ladies out there, if you know, and I know you will do, of men that will massively benefit just from dipping their toe in, even for the 4-day challenge, completely free 4-day challenge, please let them know about this, because it's incredibly, incredibly important and incredibly valued. James is going to be sharing all the secrets that he uses himself and helps other men use as well.
Indeed. I'm so excited for this. The other big news we've got is, drum roll, overseas retreats are back. We are back at the stunning Punta Romano, Marbella from November. We've got dates in November and then in January and February, and we are so excited because we've not been out there. I think it was March.
Yeah, it's 18. It'll be 18 months.
20 was it? Our last retreat there.
We did it just
before everyone locked down. The world locked down.
So the reason we're really excited about this is not just because it is our favourite place to do retreats. It is unbelievably stunning, luxurious, peaceful. Like, people just come away from there completely reset, reconnected with themselves, and supercharged to take all the tools back into their real life, everyday life. But I think we're more excited about this because it is going to be for midlifers specifically, busy midlifers that want to unplug from the stresses and pressures of everyday life and learn how to regain control over their body, mind and soul. So this is going to be specifically utilising the midlife method strategies. We're going to be sharing them with you on this retreat, and it's going to be super immersive. We cap numbers at 10, so it's really, really intimate and personal. So you get access to us like all the time, way more than we do on any other retreats. You get access to our expert knowledge, and we share those days with you, and it's just a beautiful, lovely experience.
And it's worth during lockdown as well. Punta Romano basically invested. They built a new state-of-the-art fitness centre, so completely new fitness centre, loads of functional equipment, boxing ring, yoga deck. We cannot wait to get stuck in there with clients. So
we're telling you this. We've actually got a retreats priority hot list. So if you go to our website,
38degreesnorth.com.
So that's our retreats business. If you don't know that, because actually you've only discovered us as the Midlife Mentors, we do, and still do, have 38 Degrees North, which we've been running since 2012. So go on to 38degreesnorth.com, all written, no numbers, 38degreesnorth.com. Get yourself on that retreats hot list now, because you are going to have an exclusive window when the dates go live of 48 hours to get yourself booked on. There are 10 places. So signing up there means you have access to those places before they go live to the public.
Yeah. Can't wait for that. Woohoo.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, let's get back to intermittent fasting.
Quite a lot to tell you, but we've had so many people emailing all the time about retreats. So there we are. We wanted to let you know that they are going live in the next few days, and we've got a few retreat dates. So it's going live, and get on that list, and you will be the first to be notified. So let's talk about intermittent fasting. So One of the things we get asked about, like we said right at the beginning, is do you agree with it? Because obviously we are a non-faddy, non-diet, non-restrictive approach. So everyone says, what do you like? What don't you like? And intermittent fasting comes up a lot. So there are two basic protocols. The 5-2, which is eating normally. We're going to go into this. Normally for 5 days. And for 2 days, you restrict your calories down to about 500 to 600 calories. So that's the 5-2 intermittent fasting protocol. And then you've got 16-8. So it's fasting for 16 hours and then eating for, not solidly, but within those 8 hours, eating for 8 hours. So 16 hours you don't eat, you fast, and for 8 hours that's where you fit your meals in. Now it used to be 14-10 as well. But really interestingly, we can't really find very much out there about that anymore. I have to say 14-10 is a protocol that I use. So yes, we do agree with intermittent fasting. We're going to dive into which one we prefer. But you can tell from the fact that I just said I do 14-10 actually. So not 16-8, I do 14-10.
But hacked 14-10, and that's what we're going to come on to
Yeah.
next. We're going to teach you some hacks to basically hack the science behind it.
Yeah.
So you can make it work for you within your lifestyle.
Exactly, because even the 16-8, fasting for 16 hours and eating for within the 8 hours is really, really quite difficult for a lot of people to balance in a normal life, a busy life. So 14-10 is the one I use. It's fasting for 14 hours and then eating within that 10-hour window. And I really feel that gets massive results for me, and it does get really good results for our clients. So there, in a nutshell, is what you want to know. First of all is, yes, we do agree with this intermittent fasting, but we're not massive fans of the 5-2.
Or other. It's worth noting that there are other protocols out there. There's the day on, the day on, day off, and but really the two main are this 5-2, 16-8. Now 5-2. Why don't we like that one? I think it's a question of finding what works for you in your lifestyle. The problem with the 5-2 tends to be that we're not terribly effective at doing our everyday lives, our working, while we're on those 2 days fasting because we're low on energy. So people tend to make the fasting at the weekend. But of course, the weekend is when we want to enjoy ourselves and overeat. So if you can control yourself the weekend, great. The other thing that happens here is that on those 5 days, Claire said, you need to be eating normally, i.e. healthy. You still should be hitting calorie targets. If you're eating like 5,000 calories a day for 5 days, you're not going to get the results. Still need to be eating like your calorie targets on those 5. And this is where people go wrong. And there is some science out there that suggests the 5-2, if you were that way inclined, could make you more prone to switch over to becoming anxious about eating, even into eating disorders, because it's this feast or famine approach.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm not particularly keen on this. Again, we're not massively anti it. As you know, we are massively anti lots of things. But we're not massively anti the 5-2. But from my background, with having such a terrible relationship with food, the 5-2 would just be disastrous for me. Looking at 500, 600 calories in the day and just feeling that having that sense of restriction is just not good, I don't think, for psychological...
Well, I was going to say that.
Psychologically, it's not good.
It does work, but, those...
It's not helping your
relationship. Those 2 days are very restrictive. I mean, 500, 600 calories is not a lot. And you're basically going to spend those 2 days constantly hungry.
Obsessing.
Thinking about food. So... if it works for you, amazing. But I'd say a better way to do it is definitely the 16-8. It fits more naturally with our normal circadian rhythm, i.e. our waking and sleeping and our energy use and energy storage. So basically what you want to do is fast overnight and feed in the day. As Claire referenced there, it's 16 hours of fasting, which sounds a really, really long time.
But not if you're sleeping for some... Well, I wish I slept for even half of that, but that would be nice.
And 14-10 is the other one. But ideally, listen, what we're going to say is the first hack here, anywhere between those two windows, so between 14 to 16 hours fasted. And that might sound hard, but here's an example. If you had your breakfast at 9 and your dinner at 5, that is a 16-hour fast. So you're basically not eating from 5 p.m. until 9 a.m. the next day, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. or noon to 8 p.m., depending on what your life looks like and your lifestyle. But that's with the full 16-hour. We're going to tell you a little bit further on how you can actually hack this if you can't get that length of fasting.
And here's the thing, this is easy to follow. As long as you're getting your macros, I mean, not obsessing again, but your macros and your calorie targets right in all of the days, it's not difficult to follow. It's not like some of these really complex, convoluted diets that are just there to blow your mind, have you obsessing about food all day, every day, and actually to keep you locked in it, because it's so confusing. Right. You will inevitably fall off the wagon, and then you'll think, I'll go again, and that's how they make all their money and get you locked in.
Yeah, so why we like this approach is it is naturally calorie restrictive, because you have a short opportunity to eat you're going to be inclined to eat less. And again, same as we said for the 5-2, thinking I've got, my 8 hours starts now, here I go with the cream donuts, is not the way you want to go with this. Again, if you're like smashing in 6,000 calories during your 8 hours, you are definitely not going to lose weight, you're going to put weight on. But if you can stick to your calorie targets for those 8 hours, and you should find it easier because you've got less time to eat, then this does work, and there are benefits to the fast as well. So let's look at those benefits. So first up, doing the 16-8, 14-10, whatever, is easy to follow. I think just the way we tell our clients to do this is, where you can, have your dinner as early as possible, and then don't have any snacks, don't have any drinks after that, and you've got overnight to fast. So obviously while you're sleeping, you're not thinking about food or getting hungry. So
any midnight snackers out there?
Yeah, and then delay your breakfast as long as you can the next morning. So that is the easy way to do it. It makes it easy to follow. What are the benefits? You definitely will get fat loss if you're still within your calorie targets, but here are some of the amazing benefits that are going on inside the body. First up, your insulin level. So reduce insulin to help convert glucose from food into energy for the body to use. Our insulin levels drop in the blood, so we actually facilitate greater fat burning, and we lower our insulin resistance. So in layman's terms, we're getting more efficient at using the energy we're taking on board for energy output, which is a great thing. There's also some research out there that shows that blood levels of human growth hormone, the fountain of youth hormone, may increase.
You call it something different every time.
No, that is the fountain of youth.
The fountain of youth.
And of course, human growth hormone, again, promotes fat burning and promotes muscle building as well. And it plays a role in our central nervous system, all kinds of cellular regeneration. So evidence out there that human growth hormone increases if we do this fasting protocol consistently. There's also a process we go through called autophagy, which is cellular repair. So the body basically repairs its cells and removes waste products from the body during, think about it, we're not taking anything on board. The system's not having to work to process food. It can start to focus on actually pushing out the waste products. So there's a lot of evidence around that. It's good. So put all of those together, lower insulin levels, higher HDH, and you're basically starting to help break down body fat and facilitate energy for use in the body, which is what we want.
So for this reason, short-term fasting actually increases your metabolic rate.
Woohoo!
So this reason, short-term fasting increases your metabolic rate and therefore helps you burn even more calories. So in other words, intermittent fasting works on both sides of the calorie equation. It boosts your metabolic rate, i.e. increases calories out, and reduces the amount of food you eat, i.e. reduces the calories you're taking in.
Which is an amazing thing. So we're hitting both sides of the energy equation there. Plus the changes we're getting internally, the hormonal changes as a result of fasting, are actually speeding up the metabolic process, increasing our energy efficiency, and helping us burn fat. Also, with those insulin changes mean we're lowering the risk of type 2 diabetes, and we're reducing something called oxidative stress. So that is when we train, when we do anything, we're under stress, we produce things called free radicals, which are harmful to cells in the body. Fasting allows us to clear those more effectively.
So we're just going to say a warning again. This is not an opportunity in your 8 hours or however many hours you're doing to just pig out. And this, honestly, cannot say this more importantly. My 14-hour fast that I do, it just gives me a really, really healthy relationship with food. If you can push it to 16, great. Sometimes I do. At the weekend, for example, I actually think I pushed it to about 15 today because I had dinner a little bit later because a friend came around, had dinner a little bit later, but I've only really just had my breakfast and we're recording this in the morning. So I think I've had about 15, but just don't be too rigid with yourself. Just with everything, yes, you need to commit to it. Yes, you need to stay focused and motivated because that's what wins the day. You've got to be persistent with this stuff. But you can't just do it for 2 weeks and then fall off the wagon and go, it didn't really work. It's the same with everything. But at the same time, don't get too obsessed with, oh my goodness, I've gone a quarter of an hour underneath. I've done this. It's just going to lead to misery. So, and your body will actually hear that misery. It will respond to you putting under even more stress. So just try and be really light-hearted with this.
Yeah, I was going to say, really good point there, Claire. Like, we live in this quick fix society, so it's easy to get obsessed going, oh, I've been intermittent fasting for a week now. Why haven't I lost loads of weight? Of course, you need to give it time.
This is a lifestyle. You know,
it's a lifestyle.
This is the only, I think this is one of the only, I hate calling it a diet protocol, but this is one of the only protocols that we truly believe is a lifestyle choice. It can be maintained, especially what we're saying is our favourite, which is the overnight fasting and then eating within a certain window. That is an absolutely doable lifestyle choice. And even, you might even think, okay, well, I can't do 14 or 16 hours tomorrow, I can only do 12. Well, that's fine. Maybe add some extra hours on for the fast you do the day after. So it really is super, super flexible.
It is. So I'm going to give you a little caveat here, though, or a little word of warning. So when I first tried this about 8 or 9 years ago, I did find it incredibly hard. A lot of you may already do it, and you'll be like, oh, it's easy. It fits so easily into my life. When you're starting out, if you are conditioned, and this is an important note, you know, like when we wake up in the morning, a lot of us are conditioned, like I was conditioned to go and eat breakfast, like almost eat straight away. Listen, you've only fasted for a few hours overnight. There's not a physiological need to eat or fuel straight away. It's a habit. It's another habit. And I took about 2 weeks, in all honesty, to break. I was kind of like waking up going, oh my God, I've got to wait a few more hours. I want my breakfast. Once I broke that, though, once I broke it, it was super easy. And then I could sometimes be going like 16, 17, 18 hours and be like, oh, I should probably eat something now. It literally became a new habit form.
I don't do that, friends. I don't do that. I don't always wake up in the morning hungry anymore. Like Jane said, my body's got used to it. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. I'll have my black coffee. We're going to talk about this in a second, so I don't want to jump too ahead. But, you know, if I'm doing a HIIT session, I'll have my black coffee and then go and do it, and then I'll obviously have my breakfast afterwards. But I sometimes wake up hungry, but I know the benefits of what we're about to share with you. But, yeah, it does take a little bit getting used to, because it is a habit. You know, we've been brought up thinking as soon as you get up before you go to school, you got to have breakfast before you go to school. Before you do anything, you get up and you have breakfast.
When I met you, you used to put a chocolate croissant under your pillow at night, didn't you?
Midnight snacker. But seriously, before I got into any of this, I of course would get up in the morning, have my breakfast straight away before I went to work and did anything. Or I would just, if you know the story about me going to work on a sugar-free hazelnut latte from Starbucks and then wondering why my insulin levels were spiking and then I was starving hungry by lunch. Don't do that.
No. Now, of course, we are all about the holistic approach, and we've talked there about intermittent fasting. This, of course, is attacking one side of the energy equation. We're always going to tell you that you should be moving more as well. And this is a way you can actually hack intermittent fasting. And people always ask us as well, to be fair, if I am fasting, how does my training, how do my workouts work around that?
This is really important.
Really important. Well, the first thing to note is, right, we've talked about the hormonal effects there. So if you train at intensity fasted, you are definitely going to get an increased fat burn. And this is one of the hacks that we give our clients, fasted HIIT. So you get up in the morning, you have some black tea, some green tea, some black coffee, but no milk, no sugars, nothing that's going to start your digestive cycle. So you're completely fasted, train at intensity, because you'll have glucose and glycogen reserves in the body are super low because you fasted overnight, which means you're going to have to go to body fat for energy. This works.
It does
time
work.
And time again.
It was a game changer for me, game changer for clients. I did it this morning. It's amazing. And, you don't have to, what we would say is just be really, really careful about overdoing those workouts. Keep them nice and short. Because what you don't want to do, if you've not got those reserves in your body and you're tapping into body fat, what you don't want to do is increase the cortisol by overstressing the central nervous system. Basically, when we raise our cortisol, we sometimes negate the very thing we're trying to do, which is lose body fat, because cortisol makes you hold on to body fat. So just be really, really mindful. Again, this is where we help clients, we work with clients to help them understand that actually this is a rewiring of the brain. I think, we've been taught that long lengthy workouts are the way forward. They're the ones that are going to get best results. Pounding the treadmill for 45 minutes. It's actually not. It's using hacks like this with the intermittent fasting, doubling down on doing a short, 15, 20-minute HIIT session, and then getting better bang for your buck because you're not overloading the central nervous system. But one of the things we do really need to say is because you won't have any fuel in you, be really, really careful about going lightheaded because you've got low blood sugar levels.
Yeah.
So do be careful on that.
So you will get the effect. Obviously, the longer you can have fasted, the better it's going to be. But this is one of the hacks, right? If you only manage like a 10-hour fast for whatever reason, you had to eat late or you got to do something, then doing this HIIT is a way of hacking into like basically getting the same effects, but without having the length of fast. But the longer you can fast, the better.
Yeah.
Important caveat here: your performance will be poorer. So we say this to people like, if this is about maintaining your body composition or lowering your body fat, you want to do fasted HIIT for sure. If you're going to compete in some sort of event, like you're going to go on a competitive run or a bike ride, then you want to be fueled because we want the fuel for performance. You know, our body runs off carbohydrate energy. We want that glucose and that glycogen in. So just beware, if you're getting up and you want to smash a PB, it is not fasted that you want to do that.
Personal best. And also, one of the things we say, so do your HIIT fasted, but never do your resistance, your weights workouts fasted.
No.
Because you need the energy to lift.
Resistance training is very glycogen intensive. So
you want to be fueled for that.
And there's some evidence you could actually start breaking down the muscle if you do it faster for too long, go to what we call a catabolic state.
So yeah, that's our little hack that massively works. Our clients, our midlife clients, get huge results from doing that. Intermittent fasting, obviously the longer you can do it for, that's okay. I tend to go quite lightheaded after about 15 hours, 16 hours. I definitely need food after that. So 16 hours would be my absolute max. I'll probably only do that a couple of times a week. So, but there's a little hack. Never do resistance workouts fasted, but definitely do your 15-20 minute sessions of HIIT fasting. You're going to get better bang for your buck.
Last point on all of this, when you've worked out, when you've done that HIIT, then fuel straight afterwards. Don't try and extend your fasted periods like longer and longer after you've trained.
Good point.
You then need to get the energy. You'll be in an energy deficit. That will rise your cortisol up and up and up. So here's the interesting thing, like insulin and cortisol have an inverse relationship. So if you start taking your fuel on board, it's going to bring your insulin up, which will suppress your cortisol down, which is what we want. You do not want to train at intensity and then leave it even longer fasted. Plus, we have what we call this magic window of 20 to 30 minutes where your muscles are primed for protein synthesis. So as soon as you finish your HIIT, grab that power shake, that power smoothie, and start gulping it down.
So I just want to, one other thing. I don't feel hungry after I've done my workout is what we get all the time. And I don't either. So I'm not going to gulp down a massive breakfast straight away after my HIIT workout. And sometimes I'm in the gym, I've done my HIIT workout, and then I'm going to go and do weights. I don't want to come home, have breakfast, go back out again. So that's where our amazing power shake comes in, our power smoothie that we give all our clients. That all of our clients say, oh, it doesn't look very nice, doesn't look, it looks a bit green or whatever, right at the beginning, and then they're addicted, they're hooked. I mean, I'm completely addicted to mine. I have mine every morning. So what I do is we make it the night before, take it in, do our HIIT in the gym, and then I'm not going to gulp it straight away, but I at least take some of it in. So I'll have like 2 or 3 gulps of my shake, so I've got some glycogen going into my body, so I don't get lightheaded, so I don't have that massive sugar low, and then I can sip it all the way around doing my weights workouts. That's it.
Yay!
I wanted to tell you that. So
that is intermittent fasting. I hope you enjoyed that. Love to hear your thoughts on it.
What works for you? Do you do it? Let us know. And just to recap, I will put, because I do the editing, I will put the links to James's amazing 4-day Rise Challenge for Men in the show notes. Please sign up for it. It won't take long every day, and you're going to learn masses that will turn your life, your body, mind, and life around immediately.
Thank you, Claire. We'll also put the link to the retreat's hot list sign up in there as well.
Exactly.
In case you fancy joining us in Marbella, and who wouldn't?
Oh, can't wait. Sending you lots and lots of love, everyone. Take care. Mwah.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the Midlife Mentors with Claire and James Davis.
We'd love to hear from you. So drop us a line at info@themidlifementors.com. with any questions or topic suggestions.
And make sure you join us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can find us under the Midlife Mentors.
Yeah.